Well, it's been 7 months since I decided to delete Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok from my phone. You see, the average teenager spends 8 hours and 39 minutes on their phone every single day. Add that number up with 8 hours of sleep, 7 hours of school, and you will have exactly 21 minutes of your life to live. Every day. Obviously, this is an extreme example, but everyone right now is making these videos about I quit social media for 30 days. No. I quit. See, similar to alcohol, drugs, or especially gambling, social media, likes, followers, and the slot machine we call short-form content is giving us a dopamine release. And I mean, if we ask any average person if they would be able to live without social media, their answer is probably gonna be, sure, I just don't want to. Which is exactly what an addict would say. I heard this so many times. I mean, my sister once tried to delete TikTok. Guess how long she lasted without it? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So I want to share my experience on how life has been without these apps on my phone. And this time, you won't be hearing it from a 25-year-old content creator, but rather from a 15-year-old college student. Let's get started. You see, a year ago, I was down bad when it came to social media. I had some serious issues to address. First of all, I was addicted to YouTube Shorts. I would watch these random videos for hours on end every single day. And second, I also really liked scrolling on Instagram. From feed to reels to stories, anything, it didn't matter. And worst of all, I posted shit myself. I had over 365 posts, and I'm not making these numbers up. It was literally, I counted them. I was so happy. It was like 365. And I even had a time where I was posting 10 to 20 stories every day. I mean, it was actually crazy. I was seeking so much validation and stuff. Oh my god. I believe a lot of people's first concern when deleting apps like Instagram is the fear of missing out. And you know, when I started to make up my mind for it, that was the big concern for me too. I mean, nowadays, basically every high school student has Instagram. Like, my school has 600 students, and I am certain that I am literally the only one who does not have an Instagram. Everyone says they like to be kept up to date with stuff going on in their social circles or in their school, or that they have DMs they need to reply to. But naturally, if you have apps like these, you probably also like scrolling. And fine, you might have some messages and stuff. I have too. But if that was really your concern, why don't you just use an app like Beeper to keep the messages and remove the feed? If you at least put your hands up and admit you like scrolling, even just for a little bit of time, then I would genuinely have more respect for you than if you were trying to find all these random excuses about why you need the app. Because again, that's just what an addict would do. Try to find all the excuses they can. The way one can quit social media is quite complicated, because you could just quit, but you wouldn't last for long, because there's a lot of strings attached to quitting, and you must take care of those strings first. For example, the first step is to realize that consuming social media is actually bad for you. It's bad for your mental health, it fries your dopamine receptors, your attention span will be fucked, your self-esteem will probably go lower. It also means you value your time incredibly low, it fills your head with random BS, and I could go on for an hour about all of the bad effects of social media. But again, the problem is, to truly quit, I had to address some issues myself. For me, first, it was taking a step back from posting. I already realized it was stupid and cringe and useless anyway a long time before deleting. So with no urge to share my every action with friends and random classmates to get a feeling of importance, that meant I now had to find another place to get this feeling from. Luckily, I had a friend who just got onto self-improvement. Bro, what the fuck, the lights are getting... Hey Google, turn on the lights. Luckily, I had a friend who got onto self-improvement around the time that I did, which meant that I could share everything with him. He was my best friend before, but this really brought us together. So now I could share everything with him, or if I had some nice picture that I wanted to post, I would just send it to my mom. It's literally the same thing, you just don't get the cringe and you don't open social media. So that's a check. What's next? To find life fun again. I mean, what do you think is the reason you can't meditate for more than 3 minutes? What's the reason you find it hard to sit down and study? What's the reason you no longer find it so fun to play board games or throw a ball around in your garden? It's two things, and both got destroyed by social media. Your attention span and your dopamine baseline. See, by scrolling, you're able to see something new, funny, colorful, and interesting about every half a second. Now, our primitive brains weren't made for this kind of stimulation, but they will get addicted to it because honestly, there's nothing else like it. It's just like a drug. Those kids with 11 hours of screen time in school in your class, they are drug addicts. It's like a gambling addiction, and social media companies have spent over a decade perfecting this system to make sure you scroll for as long as possible. How do they do this? Well, it's simple. Because it's getting late. We gotta sleep well. Okay, so they present you with a very good video. You watch it and go on to the next one, eager for a similar reaction. But the next video is actually pretty boring compared to what you just saw. Finally, this is a good one. Let's see another one. Wow, this is the best one I've seen so far. I'll watch a few more. It seems like it's finally good. Oh, this was completely irrelevant. This one too. Come on, just one more. This one's so good. Let's go. Alright, last one. I'll put the phone down after this. Wow, this is an amazing video. This is like the best one so far. Alright, I'll just scroll for another few because there might be more where that came from. What I said is basically what goes on in your brain while you scroll. But this just keeps on going. It's literally like an evil slot machine. This gambling system works really well because the more you scroll, the more ads they can show you and the more money they make off of you. So dopamine, the hormone of seeking and wanting more, which is exactly what happens at a slot machine or TikTok or Instagram. So your dopamine receptors are basically so fucked that you're not gonna be able to enjoy anything less than what social media can give you. And finding something more fun than social media, I mean, try. The other problem is your attention span. The average teen's attention span nowadays is 18 seconds, which means the maximum amount of time they can keep their uninterrupted focus on something is 18 seconds. And this number just keeps on going down. Well, what do you think is responsible for that, bro? Probably the fact that you've been seeing something new and funny and crazy and interesting and motivational and epic every three of these things every 1 second. So no wonder you can't even focus on what the teacher is saying during a class. And so this is why I want to ask you right now to subscribe, or at least like the video. These videos take a ton of time and discipline to make. Bro, it's literally like almost 9 PM right now. I'm literally going to bed after recording this video. And I mean, if you came this far, the video can't be that bad, right? Thank you. And so I started to reduce the time I scroll. And when my app timers went down to like 10 minutes per day, I wasn't really scrolling that much now like a zombie. And I finally started to feel and realize that there's so much more to life. The next very hard step for me that I didn't regret for a second to this day was to turn on Do Not Disturb and turn off every notification from every single app. Obviously, at least on like Android phones or like Samsung phones, you have this option to like disable Do Not Disturb for certain contacts, so my parents can still call me whenever they want. And soon enough, I was making this little game for myself where I would leave my phone at home when going to certain places, like going to tennis, going to school. I would just leave my phone at home, and it was like a nice game. It was like I was so proud of myself. I mean, think about your classmates. When was the last time they left their phone and went like 100 meters away from their phone? And then I was able to completely shut down my phone and only turn it on when I needed it for something. I was even able to start doing some uncomfortable shit, like going on my first 16-kilometer run. And I've also been taking consistent cold showers for over 200 days. You know, I'm planning to make a video about cold showers too, because I think I've got some experience. Most people are like, oh, I took cold showers for 30 days again, bro. I'm not doing it for the content. So if you're watching this a little later, just check the comments because I'll put it there as soon as it comes out. But with that said, I've been able to climb the biggest mountain when it came to quitting. And I was free from both Instagram and YouTube. Yeah, I deleted YouTube from my phone. So even if I had the intention to watch some podcast or something on YouTube, I couldn't just open my phone and accidentally start scrolling on YouTube Shorts or something. I would have to go on my computer, open my computer, and watch it there. But you see, I'm in high school, and along with all the other problems, guess where our group chat has been made? Yeah, Instagram. And this one simple thing kept me from deleting Instagram for such a long time. But luckily, I found Beeper, the sponsor of today's video. No, just kidding, but Beeper really did save me. Now I could have all my DMs and messages and everything in one place. And this meant bye-bye for the stories and the reels. And that's how I've been living for quite a while. But about a month ago, I made some more progress. I decided to delete Beeper from my phone and move it to my older phone, which I usually keep turned off down in my drawer. And that's what I did. I usually kept it turned off in my drawer. And so basically I only kept the native messages app on my phone, you know, like messages. So if my mom needs to text me or anything, she still can, obviously. Life has been so much more colorful since I took a step back from all this technology. And don't worry, this is not an overnight change, it will take a while, but I think it's worth it. If you found this video interesting or helpful or whatever, then be sure to leave a like. I mean, you came all the way to the end, so it really couldn't be that bad, right? Thank you really much. With that said, thank you for giving me your time today, bro. Have an amazing day or night. I'm going to sleep now. Bye bye.